What's up, guys? Welcome back to the TCG Scrubs podcast, and I'm joined with only one Team ARG guy in this video. I'm assuming that came out yesterday. And then Joe of Joe's Corner, which came out Friday and got quite a bit of views. Joe, I do feel bad though because your video, and I was realizing it as the news popped up with Robert and Stephanie, came out during that, and I feel like it could have been like gaining more traffic, but a lot of people were just focused on what was happening.
Yeah,
on that
that's
end
fair.
of stuff. But if you guys missed it, definitely go check it out. Joey did a kind of an analysis of the WGPQ Vegas, what he thinks is going to do well, and kind of how that will shape up for top 8.
His predictions. Yeah. I honestly haven't really been Friday and Saturday was pretty busy, so I didn't even notice that it came out.
Yeah,
it's only got 200 views.
Yeah. But cool part is I actually asked Ryan what he thought of your top 2 picks, which were Burnhill and Hanzo, and he agreed with you. He says Burnhill does have a harder time pairing up against Hanzo, but yeah,
interesting.
And before we jump too far into the podcast, I will say that I will say that everything brought to us, as usual, by Happy Little Hug Factory. Visit them in the link in the description below so that we sent you, and you guys can check out anything from their singles to their buy list. Maybe you want to send some cards in for whatever reason, and check them out. Link in the description, and don't forget to get ready to pre-order the next set, which will be coming up soon. I'm sure spoiler season starts about a month and a half from now, which seems soon compared to when we just got this new set released, but it's kind of the way it goes. But and also, you're gonna say something, Con?
No, that was it.
So you're about to say something. And also to our patrons over at patreon.com/TCG Scrubs, where we kind of release some cool Patreon-only podcast videos, some other
random
videos,
content,
I guess. Yeah, just and sometimes if something's just more of a between conversation between us and them, release it over there.
And I know I said this last week on the podcast, but there's a legitimate reason this week that we did not do the deck analysis this week, because that's when everything sort of happened. That we'll sort of go over in this podcast, but I'm sure everyone already knows about it. But that all happened, and I just now realized we never did the deck analysis because that was the whole thing.
Also, Colin has another video he'll be doing where he kind of goes over a new... This is not Patreon. I'm sorry. I'm sidetracking now. But guys, visit patreon.com/TCG Scrubs. If you'd like to support us, and we had some cool stuff happening. But side thing, I see the product still behind you, but we had somebody send us their card game, and we kind of want you to go over it, review it, maybe do some gameplay with it. So that'd be something that kind of comes up on one of the weekends coming up.
Yes. All we're waiting on is for Oscar to come... especially if you're watching this. I've already filmed the opening and looking at the cards and stuff. I'm basically just waiting for Oscar to come over so we can film gameplay, because I think that's what is important to have on there, especially for a game people don't know too much about. And so it's one of the games that's from, I'm blanking on the name of the website, but it's a website where people create different card games, and it goes through the website. I'm not sure the technicalities of how it works. And so if people like that, I like looking at these unique things. There was another one we had looked at a while back that we were going to do video for, but
I think it was.
Yeah. We're going to do video because I was talking to the creator, and I think he had gotten busy with some stuff, and so I should contact him again. But if that's something you guys like, that's something that I kind of find fun to do. So once every month or two, doing a sort of opening and gameplay of different games that creators make on those websites would be cool for me, if it's something you guys are interested in. So we'll see how this one goes. And yeah,
and I believe this is episode 62 of the podcast, right? I think last week was 61.
Heck if I know.
I'm just going to say, for any of you guys who are long-time listeners who've been here for at least a year now, who remembers somebody taking claim to episode 69, touched base with them again, and they will be here for episode 69. So you can look forward to that. We'll see how that goes.
You could probably infer just from the fact that they claimed that episode who we're talking about.
And we'll leave it a mystery. Let y'all guess in the comments below. But so that's all the intro stuff we had.
So we're gonna just have an in general sort of discussion here, and we might go into some reactions to you guys if we have some time.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, we wanted to mention real quick that.
Is this more intro stuff?
No, that
okay.
we're going to talk about our locals. We actually had
Oh yeah.
which has been building up. It's been really awesome, and we got 8 people tonight just sitting around doing a tournament. And Lucifer won. It was Lucifer. Colin built me a Brunhild deck, and man, I didn't like it.
Oscar doesn't know how to pilot it. Yeah.
Anyways,
Probably should have play tested it a little
I'm
bit.
sure that's exactly what
I told
it is.
Oscar, I said, Oscar, go get a deck and give me that Brunhild deck, and I will show you how to pilot it. Because I was watching and how unsure Oscar was with stuff, and I was like, Oscar, you should know what to do right here.
I was never
It's
unsure
just-
about stuff. I was just sitting there looking at it, I'm like, cool, a handful of stuff I can't play right now. All right, cool.
Can't play well.
Anyways, we had playmats. We had leftover ARG playmats that we were going through. And we just say, I already had one for top 8, which we got in Dallas. And I have this one. I have this one.
Which one's that?
I don't know.
Top
Is this the
16?
Judge one? Yeah, this is the Judge one.
I gave him my Judge one.
Yeah, he did. I was like, oh, what is? And then I got this one.
Top 16.
I think we'll go ahead and give away one of the top 16 ones. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry on my dog's bed.
You guys
Yeah,
are so dumb.
we're going to be having a giveaway in the coming weeks, so we'll maybe do a double giveaway at once.
Yeah. Which is a really cool giveaway. Look out for that.
Yeah.
So-
it'll be exciting. But oh yeah, go Jay.
Well, I had a question to that I just started thinking about.
And yes, I ran pandas.
Oh, nice. Was it resonator based pandas?
Yeah, I switched to Rezo, although it's still very reliant on my judgment because I built up a shiz ton of darkness gems and then judgment and just field clear.
Were they good?
Yeah, no, I did good actually. I only lost against a Brunhild deck, I believe was my only round loss, and I think it's because if I remember it, I think I misplayed pretty hardcore. There was a couple times where I was just like. I think it's because I'm just rusty playing the Resonator deck, so I'm so used to doing certain things and actions just based on my ruler. So I would go back, okay, untap, and I was like, oh shoot, before untap I should have done this, which would have led to this for this Resonator to go in the field, but I forgot. So, but I felt like I did pretty good against some of the other stuff though.
Interesting. My other question, and I don't know if we want to
I got
jump
second
into this
or third.
now. I heard that so I obviously haven't been really plugged into this whole issues and stuff. So the GP
Question: Are we done talking about the tournament today? Then
I don't know.
Is this us moving on?
I was thinking about it, but if
Real quick before we move on,
okay, sorry.
like I real quick bitch, I got second or third, but
I went 1 and 2.
we also got a bunch of pins. Also, Oscar forgot to mention.
Yeah.
VRG pins, which is pretty cool.
They had 2 judge pins, which is interesting. So I got a judge pin, which was cool though because when I did the April, was it the spring Easter one? I didn't get a judge pin, but even though I touched the event, so.
But I was going to mention one, like Oscar said, our Oscar's been going up at pre-release. How many people do we have pre-release? Which was 4 weeks ago.
10 or. Because I think the one before that we had 12, and this one was 10.
Okay, so this 10.
Yeah.
And we do our get-togethers every other week, not every week. So that one was 10 people. This week was a normal, it was a little bit more than normal. Obviously, we got a bunch of playmats, so it was a higher entry fee and stuff. But it was semi-normal, and we had 8 people show up, and it sounds like everyone's excited to show up again. So it sounds like our locals are firing up again, which I'm excited about. But what I'm even more excited about is something we talked about for our next get-together in 2 weeks, Oscar.
Yes, it's really cool. Everybody's really into it. And when somebody was like, what's that? Everybody's like, Oscar? And I was like, yes, I am here.
Oscar's our spokesperson for it.
And everybody probably guessed it. Epic Stories. Everybody was really into Epic Stories. And having some decks together. I think we're going to... I think next week when we meet up, it's going to be a couple of us just playing for fun. But I think we're all talking about getting an event together of some sort, just doing some crazy Epic Story stuff. Which is cool. And
so I'm pretty excited.
I like is when it comes to Epic Stories, it's kind of a it covers the entire Force World what would you call library. So people refer to it as Origins, and usually the Valhalla stuff, the original, is left for discretion of the players to be like, we want to include it or not. But everybody was cool with it, so I was like, okay, cool.
And it's nice because
it's right here. I just rebuilt my green elf deck with Arwen, so it's gonna be cool. The rulers. You could make maybe an argument for the rulers, but inside of the deck itself,
I feel like it's not really a big deal to run Valhalla stuff because you're only running max 1 copy per Valhalla card. There's some strong Valhalla cards, a lot of complete and utter crap Valhalla cards power level wise. So like, I don't think, even if, say, I don't have any Valhalla cards, I'm perfectly okay playing with people who do, because I feel like power levels are perfectly fine, with the exception of a couple of the rulers. But that's still okay, because I think it just contributes to the fun factor. And if I went against a deck that had Valhalla rulers, I'd be like, oh man, I want to go online and see if I can get one of those. And be more exciting when I come back with my Valhalla Epic Stories deck. Like I'm about to make my first real-life Valhalla Epic Stories deck, which I'm excited about.
Like, I always thought that, like, the only good, like, Valhalla stuff was really, in my opinion, was, like, really decks that take advantage of Chronos, and then, like, the ones that let you tap and, like, search your deck for a Wind Magic Stone or something. And, like, those seem like they have a lot of, like...
I was going to kind of agree that it comes down to, I think the only useful Valhalla cards are actually the rulers. Yeah. Like, when you look at every deck we've ever built and every game we've played online or with each other in private, whatever it is, like, I usually only have, like, 2 or 3 actual Valhalla cards. There's only a handful of useful actual cards that are in them. I am curious, though, to see if anybody runs a Time of Ragnarok and how we deal with that.
Was that the Destroy All Rulers?
No, it's the Destroy All Resonators, and then you do Judgment with your ruler. And without
if you can't do Judgment, it destroys your ruler.
Yeah, like, how do you destroy your ruler? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it just gets removed from the game. You can't Judgment, you can't call stones or anything. You're just stuck. And so you run that with stone destruction and stone bouncing and hook, and you're just golden. Yeah. You're the biggest asshole.
Yeah, I don't think Valhalla is that bad as long as you stray away from those like interesting rulers. I think
they're all you can get at. Well, if you get straight from the interesting stuff, mine is interesting, but it's not strong.
Right, exactly. Like I'm thinking just Chronos and the specific rulers that let you call like
search the stones,
double stones. Yeah. Basically call 2 stones every turn.
I mean, I would also agree with though, like, because you've had that conversation with some of the people in our Discord who said that but it's gaining some steam, but it's like it can only get so far once everybody's like kind of on the same level later. But I just look forward to having fun. Like I just love playing with a bunch of people at the same time, just like 4 or 5 people. Just a cool thing to do. But that's something that's going on in our locals that people are really getting into lately. So it's been pretty exciting. Looking forward to that.
I thought it was cool. Sorry, I thought it was cool. Like how we've started hearing like more and more people like, oh, I just came here from Yu-Gi-Oh, and I just came here from this, and I came here from that. Yeah. So it definitely does seem like it's.
Which we've gotten that too. I know at least 2 of our locals. One came from Magic, and then the other one's coming from Yu-Gi-Oh. It's really all I can account for. And some of them who we've had for a while have come from other card games as well. But more recently, I guess the ones you really want to look at, it's like that's what we have. Like, and we even had people like I think you're mentioning that comment we had on one of our videos where somebody said that they came over just due to recent ban list stuff.
I think we had 1 or 2 more on our Discord too. Yeah, that I was thinking of.
Well, even they're quoting the video, I think.
At our locals, the one guy who's there said he one of the reasons that brought him like full into the game again was Rudy's video as well.
Yes, and then there was another person saying he did it because of Negative Legend or something.
Like, and we've even had more people who are like maybe walking around playing other card games in the shop like Magic, like who will look at what we're doing and hear. Like, oh yeah, like they'll mention the Rudy video, or we'll talk to Lauren about the Rudy video type thing, and like that did make a difference. That was a huge difference. It's crazy.
It was a big difference, yeah. But yeah, so
one last little tidbit. One of the locals who comes all the way over from Texas A&M was telling us about how he came to pre-release and played and had fun and whatnot. And then he went home and was like, I'm gonna go watch some YouTube videos and see learn more about this game. And he's like, wait a minute, I played with those guys. He came across their videos. And I was like, oh, it's crazy. He's like, yeah. It's such a surprise just to get home and start watching those videos.
That's got to be so weird. Like,
I didn't hear that. That's hilarious.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
That just must have been so surreal for that guy. Like, wait, these guys are like the guys I just played with. They get like, I don't know.
They're not even that good.
Yeah.
They're like top 2 channels on YouTube. What the hell? That's so funny.
But anyway, so moving on to the stuff you were wanting to talk about, Colin, or Joey, what you're leading to a second ago.
I honestly just had a question that I just thought of. Like, so I had heard that
there, guys.
Yeah, that the WGPQ, right, in Las Vegas is on, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like it's
not
still
gonna
going.
So then, but I also heard that the web page for all the GPs and everything had been like it wasn't showing anything. Is that back to showing stuff now?
The website is still down as far as we can see, or the website, the page, and the WGPQs are what are still taking place, but they all have unpaid invites. And I think they each only have one or is it two? Because it's 10 unpaid invites.
One unpaid.
One unpaid.
I think it was only one per.
Okay. You guys can let us know.
But the main GPs, Collinsville and Richardson, the two we were going to go to, were canceled.
Which were the actual
which I had mentioned on the Ryan Miles podcast. Which I thought about it later. I was like, oh wait, it's funny because Collinsville is the one that I was going to go to, and so I had a paid for a plane ticket. And the only reason I didn't buy a plane ticket to Collinsville is because I missed the window for what I was going to do by like 10 hours or something like that. And that's the only reason I don't have a plane ticket for Collinsville. So I'm glad, not glad, but because now I know, because I was pretty upset about that, but now I know it's irrelevant. But I also, after I bought that, would have probably bought the return ticket. So I probably would have been very upset because I never buy the insurance to refund the ticket because I didn't think they were going to cancel GPs.
I don't ever do that either. But, okay, so...
Oh, I know you would never do that, Joey. That costs money.
I don't buy insurance on anything.
Take 20 years to get you to buy the ticket there in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we were so upset. How big a deal it was. How big a deal was that we were going to get Joey to fly out here for Richardson. You guys don't know how big a deal that was. That Joey was going to pay money for a plane ticket to see his friends. And now Richardson is gone.
Oh, and I just want to point this out. This goes to like personal conversations we have when we're playing games and all that. We play games almost every weekend. And then
Joey's
Melissa,
on the ground now. We're just
chilling. Melissa, he is. This is like, hey Joey, you should come to RTX. Which is a month after when GP Richardson would have happened. He's like, no, I don't want to. It seems like a lot of work to plan that out. I'm like, wait, you're not going to Richardson anymore. It clicked after a while. We talked about it. I was like, why don't you just come to this? He's like, I don't know. We have to see, like, this and that. And I don't know.
It's expensive.
Freaking Joey.
Is anybody
No, it's not.
Watching going to RTX? Because me and Colin and Melissa at least plan on being there. Hopefully.
We're planning on attempting to do all 3 days. Is my hope and goal. We'll be at a stay at a hotel or whatever. So Joey, it's so cheap. RTX is like $120 all 3 days. You get to meet RVB, Genlock, Ruby, everything.
More expensive than PAX.
Yeah, but it's per day though. It's the same price if you did the whole time.
Well, okay, maybe same price. I don't know about that, but I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure I got Colin's 3-day pass for like around.
I didn't get a 3-day pass for PAX.
Colin, I bought you your 3-day pass.
Yeah, you did, because they were sold out of one day. So you're the only one out of the three of us who have been there.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna say I definitely wasn't there for 3 days.
Yeah.
Gosh, it worked out though, because that's how I found out about a couple of YouTubers I follow now. But
yeah, it worked out because.
Which we went to the first year of PAX. But anyways, guys, if you're going to RTX, which is a Rooster's Teeth expo, then let us know, and we'll try to maybe do a little meet up and play some Force with you guys. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That actually would be cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then let's pressure Joey to go in the comments below.
Like,
yeah,
you guys, Colin needs to find me like cheap tickets like he always does, and then.
You wanna know how I find this, guys? It's called Google.
I don't Google plane tickets like you.
That's effort. Joey doesn't want to do it.
Nah.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on to the next thing. So
yeah, that's
fine. Now we're just sort of now that it's been a little bit, by a little bit, like 2 days since we filmed the last video, which did very well, surprisingly. A lot of you guys watched it. No, gonna jinx it again, but as of right now, no dislikes, which I was very surprised about for the amount of views it got.
Yeah.
A lot of activity in the comments and stuff. So I was very happy, considering it was just us relaying the information and giving our thoughts on it. But now it's been a couple days. Oscar and Joey, do you have any new thoughts, different thoughts than what we had talked about in that?
I just want to, I guess, kind of go over a couple things today. Is that we did the video because we understand that there's people who don't exist in Facebook world. They just either chose to left for whatever reasons.
I don't exist in Facebook.
Never jumped onto it. What'd you say?
Yeah, I don't exist in Facebook world. So.
Joey has an account. Anyways, what I mean is people who avoid it, who don't want to be on there and they're everywhere else, or maybe they need the information. There's comments acknowledging that, like, oh, thank you. I'm not on Facebook. I never knew this happened. They went the whole day without even knowing it, and like. I remember when it happened, we were just abuzz. There's just chats and comments just going off everywhere and all this crazy stuff happening. So that's one of the reasons why we make sure to do those and that to get them out and to go over it. Yes, there is, our opinions on it, how the way we see the things. And I think some people on Facebook didn't agree with us or didn't agree with you, Colin. Some said you seemed pessimistic.
Yeah, Facebook crowd was very different than YouTube crowd, I noticed. And I have... do you want me to address that?
Hey, go for it.
There's a comment on Facebook and YouTube. I think that was what was kind of like we were being pretty pessimistic about it.
Percentage wise, I mean, like YouTube, probably like 3% were like blah blah blah, whereas Facebook was like 80%. We're saying we're being too pessimistic or whatever, but I just want to. Well, let me just double check here. Okay, yeah, nothing, no new updates. Okay.
So again, I don't know if that's Colin or applies to all three of us. I mean, just kind of giving it things.
Yeah. So no, I don't think we're being pessimistic. I think, at least I didn't feel that way to me. To me, it felt like, for me at least, I don't know about Oscar and Joey. They might be a little bit different than me, but I was just trying to be honest and give my honest thoughts on the situation. I'm not trying to be negative. Although I don't intentionally try to be negative. Obviously, for very obvious reasons, we really hope Force Will survives and is perfectly fine. Outside of just us loving to play it, but just us on this YouTube channel, we put a lot of work and effort into this channel, and it would be unfortunate if Force Will moved on or did anything bad happen to Force Will, I should say. So, but I'm just trying to give my honest thoughts in the situation, and I was talking about this today, where even if the announcement comes out, which I'll talk about later, and it's a positive announcement, it's like, we were just waiting to make sure we got this check for $1 billion. Make sure it cleared the bank. That's still this whole situation of Jeff saying, all right, I'm leaving, more information in the coming days. And now we're currently at 9 days, and we haven't gotten an update on that. Rob posting, and then the company saying they'll have an announcement the next day. Steph saying the judge program was frozen. Hearing that before Robert stepped in, they were going to cancel all GPs and Worlds and all that for the season, and Rob had to step in and save it. Just before they scaled back the pricing and all that stuff, is very not good. So even if they come out with a positive announcement, this is harm to the game. We have seen just in the comments of our video of people already saying they're very upset by this. They're already looking to sell out of the game, different things like that. Just going to our locals, we didn't bring it up, but there were people talking about they're very trying to figure out what the announcement is or worried about it and stuff like that. So it does not create, and if you can see how us players are reacting, can you imagine a company, a distributor who's already wary about Force Will seeing all this play out like this? When Force Will now puts out their orders for the next product, are the distributors going to order less because now they don't have as much faith? And because this is top down, the official company has not posted any remarks about this. They haven't said, hey, don't worry, I see you guys are speculating. We promise it's not that bad. We'll have an announcement in 2 days. Something, any communication, the bare minimum would be nice. And so I just don't like how this is being handled, even at the most minimum level across. But
I mean, and when it comes down to
it, can come across as pessimistic.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see this grow, continue, keep going, not stop. Turn around from this. A recovery year, and next year is so much better. I feel like we could really use right now that thing that shows. And I know it's not really something you should really lean on, but because it's loosely based on like a store reporting on how well they did on sales. But that sales chart that shows the ranking of all the card games based on a certain quarter of the season. Like, I would like to see how we're doing right now. How well we are. Because last one I saw was from spring 2018, and it showed us we're well over like something like Star Wars Destiny. So I think we're 6th place at the time. So it'd be cool to see. Something just to reassure people, because like I want to keep doing pre-releases. I still want to keep going to our locals and playing with everybody and talking about how hyped I am on Epic Stories and all that stuff. So I of course want to keep believing that the news, no matter what, is going to be okay news and it's something crazy. It's kind of like on that.
Yeah, as far as like pessimism goes, like especially because I had a comment about like, we shouldn't sell our collections, and I had made the comment of like, oh, I'm looking to sell my collection. Like this, I probably won't end up doing it, mainly because I'm also lazy. But like I've kept my entire Magic collection from back when I did a ton of Friday Night Magic from Kanza of Tarkir, and I've got like a bunch of draft crap and commons and shitty like uncommons and stuff. And I just really don't end up parting with like my Magic cards.
It's not like Pokemon. When I got a Pokemon, I could just be like, okay, where's the nearest store? Buy all my stuff, and I'm done. Force Will, a little bit of a barrier, which makes people be like, eh. And that could be the saving grace of Force Will, people being like, God, it's a lot of work to sell this. Maybe I'll just hold on to it. Oh, it's alive still? Okay, here, I got the cards.
Yeah, and it's honestly mainly just that I just haven't touched my actual collection, like, because I'm mainly just like playing with Colin and Oscar online and stuff like that. But I'm similar with Oscar. Like, even though I don't go to locals anymore, like I want to keep doing spoilers. Like I want to keep doing like Joe's Corners about find out what people are playing in the pro scene and what they're bringing to GPs and WGBQs and stuff like that, and tournaments, and like and just like I would like we were planning on doing another live stream Thursday, I think, about and just playing around and stuff, and we so I would love to keep doing that too. So I hope that it that everything stays positive.
Yeah, and addressing our past few live streams that we haven't done, it's come down to stuff that's usually on my end. Something happens, I'm busy, something not ready for it, but
yeah, that's fine. But yeah, so that sort of going that. But like, did you guys have any other thoughts on that before?
I don't know. Not really. Anything has changed too much based on.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought about is maybe like because we're all this hubbub and is getting drummed up. Maybe that the reason they're not announcing anything is because they're thinking about all this stuff. Like, they're double thinking about it, or like whatever they were going to announce, they're like thinking more about it.
Which
I don't know.
That worked good.
I would say, seeing that they've delayed it so much or so long, and we haven't seen something, it's like, I'm over here pulling my Twitter up just in case, is kind of in a way reassuring, because like whatever they need to announce is not set in stone yet, and they obviously need to make sure they get it right before they announce whatever it is. It could also just be a bad thing, but I'm kind of hopeful on what that could be. I already see Colin turning his head. I already hopeful on what that could be and what it can be. That's what I'm trying to say,
like,
Colin.
That's why I say you do a post being like, guys, don't worry. Just wait 2 days. We promise it's good. Or if it's not good, be like, rip the Band-Aid off. People are now creating something worse than what it could be. And if you come out and say something that's only mildly bad because of the drummed up thing, and then you waiting, it's now worse. Yeah. And combine that with I've already, I don't know if it's related or not, but I feel like I've seen a lot more posts in the marketplace of people selling their collections and different things like that.
I couldn't tell if I've been seeing it too, if I just wasn't paying attention beforehand. So
no, I always try to keep tabs on that. I mean, I guess it could be in a different lens, but I feel like I usually try to keep tabs on it, on how, because it's a pretty good measure of how the game is doing. It is not a good message, but for the information we have access to, it's like the only measure of how good it's doing is how many people are selling out, and you could see it go up and down depending on how good the game is doing at any point in time. And I feel like, especially in a couple days, I've seen multiple posts about it. I feel like it's gone up.
It's interesting. I couldn't. I think, I don't know. That's a really small sample size, so I don't know how accurate we could draw. But I agree with Colin that like I would like them to communicate with us, and they need to communicate something. But I also, I'm kind of on Oscar's side where it's like sometimes no news is good news, and the fact that they haven't done anything yet is it's interesting in itself. Like if Rob was like, "Hey, you're gonna get a post the next day," and then we don't get a post, like that might be because there's a lot of like inner turmoil going on and a lot of stuff happening. So I don't know.
But go ahead. I was just
go ahead.
I was
going to move on to what I was going to, or I was just going to mention or talk about briefly is the fact that, and it goes off of that, and what I've been keep saying about, and I've said this for a while about Force Will is terrible at communication. The only time they've ever been good at communication is when they're using Jeff as a conduit, and this goes on it where, as Joey just mentioned, Rob did his post. He's like, "Hey, company, I just heard back from the company, so they're gonna make a post for it tomorrow." And we're like, "Okay, is that tomorrow our time? Is that tomorrow Japan time?" And so I was like, "I guess that's tomorrow Japan time, but it's night right now, so does that mean in like 6 hours or something like that?" Which would have been Friday. Nothing. And I was like, "Okay, so it was the different Japan time, or it would have been I'm getting mixed up, but I think Thursday night is when I was like, maybe, okay, if not, it'll be Friday night. Friday night, nothing. Saturday night, I was like, okay, maybe Saturday night, because they're thinking tomorrow, as in, like, they're thinking it was the other day, so they're thinking, like, tomorrow, I don't know. Something weird like that, and nothing Saturday. And so here we are Sunday, around the time when they usually do announcements, is around this time of day, and still nothing. And so this goes back to my point of, like, this does not make me very enthusiastic about what they're about to say. If the fact that their hand was forced by Rob to make an announcement on what the heck is going on, and they're like, "Okay, we'll do a post tomorrow," and everyone's like, "Okay, cool, we'll find out what's going on," and the Force was just like,
the Homer meme.
Just like, yeah, and they're like, "All right, we staved them off a little bit, and now we're just not going to say anything." Not even a post of like, "Hey, we know we're going to say something, but it's delayed. We're waiting for some stuff to be cemented. Look for the post." Even if it's in their crappy broken English, I don't care at this point. Just something where we can get the idea. Post in Japanese, we'll translate it. We have Google Translate.
I did make a joke with Colin just earlier before recording. Because one of the one of the things everybody was talking about on our Discord was, it's a buyout, or some other company's going to buy Force of Will, is what this could be, da-da-da-da. And I was like, Colin, it would be hilarious if the announcement came out like on Bushy Road's page, so that's why nobody sees it. It's because Bushy Road bought them out. That was just a joke. I thought it was funny.
But so I'm just very not happy with however this be. Like, is there not a single person who works there who knows just do a post? They should have whatever software it is where you do a post and it pushes out to every platform, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. I'd assume they have that software.
We're talking. His name's Nathan. Our locals and the newer guy who found us on YouTube. I was actually talking to him. He's like asking about checking on things, and I was like, yeah. And he asked. I told him I usually check with 4 different things. 1 is the Facebook groups. 2 is the Japanese Twitter. 3 is the website, and then 4 is the Japanese website. Is because there's been many times where articles are posted maybe on the website and they've never been shared, or so it could be like, oh, it showed up there first, or even the Japanese Twitter, which is more on top of communicating with its community, is always posting on there. So I was like, maybe they posted on there. Which was what I pulled up here just to double check it. I'm always looking at that. Just it's kind of the different thing we're looking at, just waiting for that announcement.
So that's. Yeah, I was just basically saying I'm very upset that they have not done the update. I know people be like, well, you think you're entitled to an update. It's like, well, yeah, they told me I was entitled to an update. They said they were going to do an update, and I got no update on this game, and I would like to know what's going on. If I should I keep telling people to come join the game and then feel like an asshole when it dies as soon as they come? Not that I'm saying it's going to die, but I'm just saying, like, for me personally, at this point in time, I don't want to bring in people or advertise it to more people who are playing Magic at locals and get them all excited and sell their Magic cards and buy Force of Will or buy 6 boxes of Force of Will like some people do. We've seen several times when they get excited about the game, they'll go and buy a bunch of booster boxes and all of a sudden find out it's not doing well. So I'm holding off on doing that big push I usually do to people just because I want to know what's happening first. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure I'm not the only person like that.
Sorry, I just wanted to, real quick, that sounds exactly like Mike. He's like, oh man, I'm really excited about this. 6 boxes.
Yeah. Good.
I remember I was like, hey man, if you played, I have tons of cards, let me know and I'll help you out. Don't buy product, just buy singles. And like next thing I know, you're like, both of you are like, we're going to Michael's. He bought 2 boxes. I'm like, why?
And then like a week later, he bought another box. It's like, what?
But yeah, anyways, which by the way, anybody wondering who Michael was? He actually had a vlog on here when he went to go play Magic when he stopped playing Force of Will. Had a handful of views and then he never did it again. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh, when Colin was like mentioning it earlier, he's like, "Oh man, I hope you're ready for the podcast tonight. I'm gonna rant." I was expecting a Colin rant. I didn't get a Colin rant. I'm proud of you, Colin.
It's been a
I was trying to temper it because people are getting upset at me, and so I was
I think it's what it comes down to behind what you're explaining right now. So it didn't seem like it was a irrational rant.
Oh, that's fair too.
Like I always have a reason for the rant. I can't think of a single rant that didn't have a reason. I just feel like
most of Colin's green is bad rant has no reason at all.
First off, every single rant I ever did about green turned out to be right. Every last one. Find me one green rant that was wrong.
You triggered him.
I know you can't. I'm just saying. Every rant turned out to be right. Every last one. I said Sherry was terrible, needs to be banned. If you don't ban it now and you ban these other super cards, you're going to look super dumb in 2 months when you end up banning it anyways. And what happened? They ended up banning it anyways and unbanning the other cards and looked super dumb. And we just put under like 6 more GPs under our belt that were all Sherry's in the meantime. So that was fun. I said the same thing about Prisha. Loret's fine now, yeah. No, Loret was 100% terrible, but I think it's fine now with everything that's done. It's and with the power decks that are currently power decks, I think Loret's in a good place now. It's still too strong. Still too strong, but I think it's not ban worthy anymore.
It was sad going through like old cards, not old cards, newer cards. The cards that are useless now because of Sherry's gone. I was going like addition destruction. I wait, I can't use this. Sherry's banned. I was like, can't use that in my epic stories deck. Oh whoa.
And like I was going through my cards and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know I had these full art cards. What? Oh wait, yeah, they're not money cards anymore because these were all Sherry cards. They're all dolls and stuff that
full
are useless.
Genie's worthless now.
Yeah, for cleaning dolls, for last audiences, all that good stuff. But yeah, I there's probably 1 or 2 people are going to be like, but I stand by that. All my rants are justified. I feel like. Maybe it's just because I'm like super. I feel like I keep mentioning how upset I am with the lack of communication right now, so it's getting repetitive for me. Maybe that's why I'm not getting as upset. Or I'm talking to Oscar about it so much that I'm just like, I forget what I've said to you guys, and I've already gotten super mad when I'm talking to Oscar. So.
And I think when he's arguing his points to me, we're not arguing against each other. He's arguing them to me. And he thinks I'm on his side. I'm like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's crazy. So that way we come on the podcast. He's like, yeah, I'm justified. Here we go. Rant. And I'm like, yeah, I think it's kind of okay.
Colin's like, man, I thought you had my back.
So I thought we'd, or anything else, you guys?
Well, no, I was going to point out, like, I think you're, like, you have good points, and then you have, like, very Colin rant bad points. Like
what?
Like we had a very in-depth conversation like I don't know a month ago about like power levels of something or other, and like I don't know, I thought you were wrong about it, but
what were the specifics?
It was something about Keurig and something. Oh gosh, I do not.
I still thought Keurig was good.
No. It was just like general Keurig powers or something. I don't even remember. It was some big argument that we had, and like it was like the main point of the podcast for the whole one. I'll go back and look at it later. And I'll talk to you first about it. Or,
I thought it'd be good for us to sort of go through and read some of the reactions to the video, like in the comic section and stuff like that. And sort of respond or give you guys a general idea. Which one? I liked how we're talking about this, and I just went back to our Discord and saw that someone was selling out now, but selling out of the game. But so yeah, I'm gonna go look at our comments and also let you guys know who they're from and give our thoughts and if we don't like you or not. So I'm just going in order of what it shows on our YouTube channel. So I don't know what it uses because it just says 1 day for everything. So I don't know if it's by recent or most likes.
There should be a sorting thing if you're on the actual video.
Oh, it's top comments.
Yeah,
but the top comment has less likes than the next comment.
I don't know. Maybe it's just based on.
All right, I'm just gonna go by this. So I'll just point out a Negative Legends comment where he said he desperately wants to make a video on this, but he knows it's smarter to wait for more info before jumping to conclusions, which I don't think in that video we jumped to conclusions. I think he was talking just in general. Yeah, which I replied, yeah, he should wait because I think the announcement is going to shed a lot of light onto what's happening. Someone had replied, huh?
Yeah, so you're going to read that last reply that was made?
Yeah, that's what I was going to. Someone had replied to that said, considering you just told everyone a couple weeks ago how great things are, you might want to tell people to pump the brakes sooner rather than later. You can always make an update video for additional content.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see that comment.
It doesn't quite work that way. In YouTube world, if you make a video telling people to pump the brakes on Force of Will, and Force of Will turns out to be fine, in 1 year, unless he takes the video down, in 1 year, people looking for Force of Will might come across the video and be like, oh, wait, Force of Will's not doing good. And out of context, that's not going to be very great. Obviously, he can make the video in context where it works really well, but I think it's fine since Negative isn't Force of Will for his main content. He's not constantly pumping out Force of Will stuff. I think it's fine for him to wait to do a video. I don't think maybe he could do if he really wanted to take that comment to heart, he could do one of the type posts you can do on YouTube now, but I don't think it's too big a deal on his end. What do you think?
I agree with you for the most part. Like, I think it would be better to not tell people to pump the brakes, but I don't know. It's like, it's kind of what we've been talking about. Like, we don't want to tell people like in person to keep jumping into Force of Will and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think it's more personal. Yeah, you don't need to necessarily. I'm not going around telling people not to get in Force of Will right now. I'm just not actively telling people to get in temporarily, and I think Negative just is probably going to do the same thing.
Although we have been very like doom and gloom quite a bit, which is, I think, is appropriate, but.
I think it's 100% appropriate considering the only information we have and have not been given any counters or even like hinted that there's any counters to this, which is unfortunate. Which is all I really want is say Jeff's post, if it said, "Hey, I'm leaving, my position's dissolving. Don't worry, guys, though, it's for the best. Just wait and see. I'll talk to you later." That would have been cool. Or Rob's post, Rob's post, and then be like, but even though I'm leaving for various reasons, I think that there is very high hopes for going forward, especially with what they have planned, and you'll hear about that in the coming days. Stuff like that.
Rob's post was like much more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Is much more promising than just post.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
it's just him sticking around of his own volition because he likes us.
Right, but having people who are invested in the game like stick around and like trying to do these things, like that's.
Well, you're still gonna have that. Kaijudo had that after it died. They still did stuff after it.
Yeah. It had a better feel to me. Like Jeff was kind of like, hey guys, like I'm still gonna be around playing Force of Will, but that was it. Rob was more like, hey, I'm still gonna be behind the scenes trying to help people out and trying to like get this all like get stuff going. Does that make sense?
For the remainder of the season.
Right. But I mean,
yeah, would be very important. But yeah, I didn't come across very positive of it, especially hearing the company's original plans and stuff.
I wouldn't say positive, but more positive than all the other like announcements.
Yeah.
That we had.
Yeah. But so next one, Red Zone Rogue. Honestly, I was so bummed about the news. I skipped the video editing today. I just hope they didn't get bought out by another company like Bushy Road, like Oscar said, who are notorious for canceling games. I've been positive and supporting the game for a long time now. He started in NPR, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit worried. And no, it's a good and like I had replied to him, sort of the same thing. Like ever since this news announced, I've been like pretty down the entire time. It's pretty. I'm hoping it comes out positive, but still like pretty bumming out. And like he said, he'd be lying if he wasn't a bit worried. And same thing here, where people might say I'm being pessimistic, but I'm worried that they haven't given me anything positive to work off, that I feel at least. And so just a little bit worried.
One of the comments to that was like, this game is my favorite card game now, which is a hard act to follow considering some of the games out there now. So like, I think it's so interesting hearing like all the people who actually are like either coming to the game or, you know, we are discovering the game and they're like, wow, this is actually like a really good card game.
Yeah. Yeah, like this comment, thank you for the news and love for the game. There's several comments, I'll brush over them as we go along, of people who are still really like the game or bummed to see all this happening and stuff like that. Like, there's not like all this negativity or hate towards all this and stuff. Sorry, my cats are freaking out, which is distracting.
How about yeah, you go ahead. You can let them in or something. I have a comment. I guess we can go over here.
Which comment?
This one. It says "good puppers."
Yeah,
that was somebody brought that up. Our local is like, yeah, I was watching y'all's last video. Your dog's calling too.
Yeah, they're dumb. Oh. Someone jokingly put, hey, if anyone wants to sell their collection super cheap, message me, I'll buy it. He said, for real though, don't sell your collection. The game isn't dead till they stop printing product. But someone replied like, where can I message you? They're like, hit me up on YouTube.
That was actually kind of funny. So
maybe we should, hey, if you, no,
so I was actually going to reply to him, actually kind of trying to explain, like, you know, I wasn't actually that serious about selling off my cards. Like, it was more just like all this news, and then like I never use them anyways. But I don't know, and it's a lot of work.
And this is going towards to what Oscar was saying earlier of someone saying it's a good thing they watch the channel's videos because they would have known most of these news things about Force of Will, and that had several likes on it. And someone replied of, me too, I quit Facebook and there's no other source. And it's because, like, usually when you're a company, I work for a small one right now, and they figured this out. You do a post, say on your website, and you hit a button, and it goes, dunk Facebook, dunk Twitter, dunk Instagram if you want, everywhere, dunk to Japanese Twitter, run it through a filter that auto translates it. That's probably not the best idea, but you know what I'm saying.
Terrible
just like, the point is,
the game is alive. Auto translate, the game is dead.
Who's that PR guy? She get fired.
But it's I mean, for a company, it's relatively cheap. I forget how much it costs per month, but it's just a system, and it whenever you do a post, pushes it out everywhere, does all the necessary tags, all that good stuff. So it's crazy that they don't utilize that. Why don't they use Discord? Why don't they utilize their YouTube channel they have? They have a YouTube channel, guys, that they post videos to once in a while that are super weird and funny to watch, but it's,
honestly, I'm pretty sure there's probably like a free version of that like software out there, like how we do the restream stuff, and it's like we're able to stream to both Facebook or YouTube and Twitch, and it's, you know, it's super easy because there's an app for it and it's free. It's like,
yeah,
right? It's free.
1 sec, my cats.
1 sec, my cats. Right, Oscar?
I wish I had recovery so I don't have to edit this out. I'm not editing this out. But yeah, no, I agree, Joey. There should be a free one out there somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's not even that difficult to do. I honestly wonder, like, okay, obviously I'm not too familiar with the right thing to be with like Japanese culture or something like that, to be like saying how well they could write or how confident they are maybe and writing an English post just to post it? Like, is that the issue that we have? Why it takes so long to see some things come out?
Nah, because then you'd be like, right before Jeff leaves, be like, hey, real quick, type this out. Thanks. Or I'm sure, unless they had a it sounds like, well, it doesn't sound like they had a falling out. I feel like they could message him and be like, can you real quick translate this? Thank you. Or, you know, just Google Translate to the best of your ability. I follow your caster's page. It's bad, but it's not that bad. I still get what you guys are trying to say.
I'm just stuck on the whole, like, hey, Jeff, could you translate this? Okay, guys. Jeff was a terrible person to work with. Ah, damn it.
We just
the whole thing's like that.
It was okay. No, like me right now, like if I need to create a Japanese post, and I'm not a company that, you know, I guess has resources or whatever, but I'd have to hit up Jeff too and be like, Jeff, translate this Japanese for me. I need to post it. So I'm just wondering if that's what's holding them back on some things.
That's a good point, yeah.
There's workarounds. They're perfectly fine. But yeah, a couple comments about people kind of worried. Another worried one. Really hoping for the best moving forward. I really love this game and how things have grown in my year or so playing. Also, okay, we'll skip that. So that's a little positive. And like this guy pointed out, he said, good stuff, guys. From a business standpoint, has the usual signs of an upper management change. The best way to keep the product relevant is to keep buying new products, so selling off collections and no longer buying packs and boxes is not the best move to make unless you sell your collection and use their empty space to buy new boxes. I think new Valhalla cluster has been excellent. The game itself is starting to fully recover from a Lapis cluster that almost buried it for good. Which, I agree with. It's had a huge comeback from one of the... like a back-to-back of two of the most toxic formats we've seen in the game. So it came back from that and was making a pretty good comeback. And so he seems pretty positive about it. Yeah, optimistic. You know, upper management change. You see all the shifting around. But upper management sounds like they're not very great at their job so far. There's the good puppers comment. Oh, we got a comment from CCG Genesis. I say with the game through the worst, and this is the first time I'm truly afraid of the game state so far. This new management has been making all the wrong moves. Force has finally gotten back on the radar for local game stores. They really need to get their act together before they run the game to the ground. I've been a big supporter of the game ever since NPR, and I hope I can continue to be. I guess everyone jumped in during NPR, apparently. When did we jump in?
Twilight Wonder.
Twilight Wonder.
Twilight Wonder,
the Seven Kings.
I had y'all fully invested in and interested. We picked up the dual decks, and then we hit our first pre-release at Time Spinning Witch and started buying boxes and product at that
Time
point.
Spinning Witch, yeah.
Moonlit Savior. The Moonlit Savior.
Witch.
Anyways, they're about the same character, guys. But it's when we went to our first pre-release and started buying product and stuff like that. Joey was the first. He bought a box of the Moonlit Savior.
No. Did I?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I
you pulled a Yggdrasil.
Oh, he might have won the box.
I'm like, dude, I want the Yggdrasil. It looks like so much fun.
I do remember.
We sat at work watching you open
too.
it, and we actually drove to Ooples just so you could pick it up while we were on lunch at work.
I remember.
Which was probably a longer lunch than it should have been.
Yeah. But
I do remember that.
Yeah. It's pretty much my thoughts, though, with CCG Genesis.
I think I only ever won one box. Pretty sure I only ever won one box, actually. I think I bought my other, 2 or 3 boxes. What?
Just what you're saying, pretty sure I've only ever won one box. I deserve more than that.
Well, no, I was just.
I've had to buy my other ones.
I was trying to think of all the boxes that because I had never. That was my very first booster box I've ever purchased in my entire life. Because
it costs money.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money.
First booster box I ever bought was Roaring Skies.
Same here. That was my first ever Pokemon Roaring Skies.
Yeah. And
We both bought our own, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah,
lost
it was
your
good.
Fox virginity together.
Yeah, we did. It was
we
pretty
opened
great.
up together too.
I read because I grew because I only ever bought random singles for Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't think I even ever bought a booster. I think I got a couple booster packs for Yu-Gi-Oh and maybe Magic, and that was about it. And so when I got the booster packs, I was like, "Oh my god, there's so many booster packs in here! This is crazy!" And I just remember that was like the coolest thing ever. Like first opening an entire booster box for myself.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
In Pokemon, I each just depended on prize packs. I think the default 1 or 2 that you got during tournaments. And then it wasn't until like as things got, I think when you guys jumped in, I was like, okay, but I think I discovered TCG player at that point. I was like, oh, I can buy singles. So I started buying singles up left and right.
I grew up on Troll and Toad. I was back.
Yeah, I think that's actually where I started. Was Troll and Toad.
I
bought Blue Eyes White Dragons and stuff. It was great.
I always thought like it was such like a cop out to like buy cards from online people, like because then you're just buying the best cards and then you just make
Nah.
and then it's like
I remember like when I first just because we had this crappy tiny store at our hometown that I would buy Yu-Gi-Oh singles from, and then I discovered Troll and Toad and I was like, oh. And so I'd like set aside like $3 and I'm back. All right, I'll buy Blue Eyes White Dragon, pay for shipping or something. Like I could just like drop $2 here and there and just get a couple cards that I wanted and that I thought looked cool. I don't know if they were ever actually good or not, but I remember that was like the greatest thing, like going out and getting the mail and it was the package of cards. I was like, oh my god.
See, okay, so like Troll and Toad was the very first like time I actually started buying cards, and I bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and then during Pokemon I actually bought like an entire deck list, and it was the Camerupt deck list that I ended up playing.
I remember you built
like,
Ampharos when it was a meme.
Yeah, Ampharos.
Yeah.
Ampharos was awful, but the Camerupt deck was.
And you ran it at regionals.
Yeah, because I was gonna win the whole thing. Like, if it wasn't that stupid super extended format, I would have sweep.
Anyways, we should probably end it about now, guys.
We're reminiscing on other card games that aren't Force of Will.
Well, we're gonna go over some more comments in the mini podcast, so join us over there.
And thank you for being here, and we'll see y'all next time.
That definitely devolves.
Bye.
See you guys.